I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, Jason. Thank you for having me on your show today.
Yo, yo, yo! Thanks for joining me via satellite, Mr. Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. What's up, my friend?
You know me, just chilling out maxin, relaxing all cool, and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
I'm so pumped to have you on my show. I was never taught much about North Korea in school, so I had to do a ton of research in preparation for this interview. I've learned a bunch of extremely captivating information. What I have planned is an in-depth interview with a bunch of fun topics, but also some serious topics. Regardless, it's going to be a great time. So, let's get this party started.
Yeah, we are bringing the place to
In my opinion, most Americans hate you, even though they don't really know anything about you or your country. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I would have to agree with you, Jason. If people just took the time to get to know me, they'd realize that I'm a saucy little minx.
Mr. Kim, I'm pretty sure a saucy little minx is defined as a flirtatious, bold, young woman.
Yeah, that's right. I'm bold, I'm beautiful, I'm tall and strong, and I'm manly. Extra manly. Hashtag Korean beefcake.
While that's hilarious, it's also totally confusing. I guess I'll just have to take your word for it. Speaking of being totally confused, apparently there's some confusion in regards to your date of birth. North Korean records show you were born in 1982, while South Korea says 1983, and the U.S. Department of Treasury says 1984. So, which year do you suppose is correct?
We've got a real mystery on our hands here, Jason. Too bad Scooby-Doo isn't here to help us solve it. I'm like Austin Powers, an international man of mystery.
Speaking of being a mysterious man, I'd like to list a few things I discovered about you. Apparently, you attended school in Switzerland, and in the fall of 2000, you left the school abruptly during your 9th and final year. The teachers described you as a well-integrated, ambitious student who liked to play basketball. You were shy, awkward with girls, your grades and attendance were poor, and you were indifferent to political issues. You had a fascination with the NBA and Michael Jordan and were obsessed with computer games. You're a middle child, as you have an older brother and younger sister. From 2002 to 2007, you attended Kim Il-sung University, where you obtained a degree in physics. Your dad's personal chef, Kenji Fujimoto, said you have superb physical gifts, are a big drinker, and never admit defeat. You've been married since 2009. You have one kid and possibly another two. Your father passed away in December 2011, and you became the supreme leader approximately 3 months later. You're the second youngest currently serving head of government and the third Kim to lead North Korea.
Wow, you really did your homework, Jason. Was there a question in there somewhere?
Yes. How the hell do you have one kid and possibly another two? What does that even mean?
Well, Jason, have you ever heard of a 1970s key party?
Yep, I'm familiar.
Well, there you go. I'm a swinger, baby.
Well, cheers to that, my randy little friend. I understand your father had 7 children with 4 different women. So, are your potential kids with your wife or with another woman?
Well, do you remember what my dad's personal chef said about me? That I have superb physical gifts? It turns out those physical gifts are below the belt, if you know what I mean. How do you like me now, my thin-haired friend?
Did you just call me your thin-haired friend?
That I did. You got a bald spot the size of a pancake, and apparently your hair is running away from your face. Get some hair skills like me, my friend. What, biatch?
I'm actually really glad you brought up this topic. I read an article that has described your hair as a semi-shorn bouffant. Do you know what images pop up when I Google bouffant? Check it out. What the hell, man? And that's not all. Look at what else I found. Anyway, staying on this topic, I read another article that says North Korea actually has state-approved haircuts. I have 2 more photos. Check it out. 15 approved hairstyles for men and 15 approved hairstyles for women. And I quote, "Conformity in hairstyle and dress is strictly enforced in the totalitarian regime."
So what's your point, Jason?
My point is this. Does your regime allow for manscaping and Brazilian waxing?
Hell to the no. 2 of my favorite things in life are 70s key parties and 70s bush. The bigger the better. Hashtag cushion for pushing.
So why aren't you sporting a state-approved hairstyle?
I'm the supreme leader, Jason. I make the rules, bitch. I do my hair how I want. I do whatever women I want. And I launch missiles whenever I want.
I understand that, but it seems like this type of behavior might create a bit of animosity between you and your people. But we can talk more about this later. For now, let's discuss these missile tests you speak of. What is the reason for you acting so reckless?
Well, here's the thing, Jason. I mainly just like to show off how powerful I am. I'm like a masculine little butterfly or a super strong teddy bear. Hashtag back off, haters.
But you're really just pissing off the entire world, and your tests haven't even been that impressive. Let's look at the facts. Your most powerful test was performed in September of 2017. You claimed it was a hydrogen bomb, but it only produced a yield of less than 280 kilotons. As you can see, the highest yielding test conducted by the United States is 170 times more powerful than your supposed hydrogen bomb.
Let me clarify something, Jason. When we said hydrogen bomb, we simply meant that we dipped the tip of the missile into 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom before we launched it.
2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom? You mean H2O, as in water? You dipped the tip of your missile into water and called it a hydrogen bomb? And why just the tip? Did you dip it just for a second, just to see how it feels?
Ha Jason. I like that game. I've played that once or twice.
Staying with the sexual innuendo theme, I understand that North Korea used to have the largest flagpole in the world. My research shows that South Korea built a 323-foot flagpole in the 1980s, so North Korea responded by building one that's 202 feet taller. Is it possible that you're overcompensating for something?
What are you suggesting, Jason?
I think I'll let my next photo do the talking. I mean, seriously, little Kim, your use of phallic symbols over and over again make you so easy to mess with.
I'm warning you, I'm not a man to be trifled with, Jason. Hashtag Asian invasion.
Even your missile launches are totally hilarious. You've had multiple missiles explode immediately after takeoff. A little premature explosion, if you will. But I guess that happens to every guy at least once or twice in their life, right? Anyway, this brings up an entirely different topic altogether that I briefly touched on earlier. And I quote, "I'm the supreme leader, Jason. I make the rules, bitch. I do my hair how I want, I do whatever women I want, and I launch missiles whenever I want." End quote. With all due respect, Mr. Kim, you clearly also eat whatever you want, because 40% of your country is undernourished. North Korea has one of the lowest obesity rates in the world at just 6.8%. And you're a total fatty.
What's your question, Jason?
Do you or do you not love cheesy poofs?
I love cheesy poofs. You love cheesy poofs. If we didn't eat cheesy poofs, we'd all be lame.
I'm pretty sure you stole that from South Park. Anyway, I've got another photo. But in all seriousness, the statistics in regards to how poor your country is are quite staggering. The average worker makes just $1,700 per year. 2 million people died during a famine in the 1990s. Your unemployment rate is 25%. Only 26% of your population has electricity, and less than 3% of your roads are paved. Even amidst such poverty, your dad used to spend $800,000 per year on Hennessy. Just last year, you bought 2 Mercedes Maybach limousines for $1 million or more, and the cigarettes you smoke are $55 per pack. How can you justify living such a lavish lifestyle when the average worker in your country takes home less than $2,000 per year?
Well, Jason, here's the thing. I'm not just a leader. I'm the supreme leader.
And actually, there's one fact that I left out. Due to the lack of resources, I understand that human feces are used for fertilizer. Is that true?
What the hell, Jason? Are you serious? Well, I guess that would explain why all of my food tastes like shit. Not cool, man. Not cool.
So, people who know me know that I'm full of ideas. I'm actually willing to give you a blueprint on how to fix your economy if you're willing to do me a favor.
What's that, Jason?
Well, your country is full of smoking hot Korean females, while my country is overloaded with too many dudes. So let's do an even trade. 1 million Korean women for 1 million American dudes.
But why would I want all that sausage in my country?
Okay, hear me out on this. My plan to fix your economy will require a ton of manual labor. First, we're going to start drilling for minerals. Reports estimate there are $8 trillion worth of minerals underground. This will allow you to become energy independent. Then, we'll take that revenue and develop the coastlines for tourism. Your current GDP is a mere $32 billion. Michigan alone, the state I grew up in, does $25 billion in visitor spending every year. This will almost double your economy in a very short period of time. So, 1 million American dudes will be necessary to implement these changes. Do we have a deal?
If you throw in Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan and let us have an NBA team, then we've got a deal.
Nice, we're making progress. Our next order of business is this. You've got to loosen up on your people a bit. From the outside, you appear to be micromanaging almost every aspect of their lives.
What? Give me some examples, Jason.
Well, for example, you control broadcast media where radios and TV are pre-tuned to government-owned stations. And then there are the state-approved hairstyles that we talked about earlier. Not only that, but regulations require that given names of children born in North Korea must be 5 syllables or shorter. The Harvard Business Review says the underlying need to micromanage is a fear of failure. And an article in Forbes says the root cause is fear, and that you're experiencing fear because you fear a loss of control.
Well, who do you think you are? Dr. Phil? What the hell, Jason?
I think what you are lacking, my short, chunky little friend, is confidence. Have you ever tried daily affirmations to help build your confidence?
I have not.
All right, let me coach you. Repeat after me. I am smart, I am sexy, I am strong.
I am short, I am fat, I am horny.
What was that, Mr. Kim? Let's try it again. I am happy, I am powerful, I am confident.
I am tired, I am lazy, I am hungry. For cheesy poofs.
Okay, you clearly don't believe in my methods. Would you be up for some rapid fire Q&A?
Okay, can I go first?
Okay, Napoleon, let's do this.
Is it true that episode 1 of Deepfake TV was a huge flop?
You would be incorrect, my dim-witted friend. Episode 1 is funny shit. The problem is this. We live in a society sprinkled with tons of angry haters. And you know, as well as I do, the players is going to play. And the haters are going to hate. But I'm just going to shake it off. Shake it off.
Is it true that you can't find a girlfriend and have a huge fear of commitment?
That's a great question. I would love to meet a woman who inspires and motivates me. But for now, I'm actually pretty happy being single. I don't think I have a fear of commitment, although I definitely don't believe in marriage. I think it's more like an unwillingness to commit.
What's up with the ridiculous facial hair, Jason?
You don't like my mutton chops? I'm getting older, man. So somehow, I've got to draw attention away from my receding hairline, you know?
Why is this interview via satellite? Are you afraid to come to North Korea?
Hell yeah, I'm afraid to come to North Korea. I mean, 97% of your roads are dirt roads. You have 1 registered air carrier. You reportedly fed your uncle alive to 120 starving dogs, and you use human feces for fertilizing. No thanks, my friend.
Well, that's all the questions I've got. Your turn.
Nice. So, have you ever played the game Bang, Marry, Kill?
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay, I'll give you 3 names, and you have to decide which person you'd prefer to either bang, marry, or kill. Here we go. How about Kim Kardashian, Hillary Clinton, and Rosie O'Donnell?
That's easy. I would bang Hillary Clinton, marry Kim Kardashian, and kill Rosie O'Donnell.
You banging Hillary Clinton is a hilarious thought. Okay, What are your thoughts on Donald Trump's tweet? And I quote, "North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen." End quote.
Ooh, don't make me open a can of whoop-ass, Jason. I am strong. I am powerful. I am hungry for more cheesy poofs. Hashtag bring it, bitch.
So, what do you like to do for fun?
I really just like to get hammered on Johnny Walker whiskey and watch cartoons. My favorites are Scooby-Doo, My Little Pony, Care Bears, and Beavis and Butthead.
If I had the power to grant you 3 wishes, what would they be?
I want a 2019 Mercedes SLR McLaren Roadster. I want to have dinner with Dennis Rodman at the White House. And I want the world to just stop picking on me.
And if I gave you 2 more wishes?
Unlimited whiskey and cheesy poofs every day for the rest of my life.
I knew that was coming. Okay, so, in conclusion, I was thinking we could simply give advice on each other's country. I think it would be nice to get an outsider's perspective. So I'll start. Here are my ideas for North Korea. Number 1, start mining for resources in an effort to become energy independent. Number 2, develop the coastlines in an effort to jumpstart tourism and boost the economy. And number 3, increase trade with the United States. We'll begin by exchanging 1 million single North Korean females in exchange for 1 million American dudes. All right, your turn.
From my perspective, Jason, I believe that the United States needs, number 1, gun control. I'll never understand why your country feels the need to police the entire world when you've got your own problems to deal with. Number 2, reduce your national debt. How are you one of the wealthiest countries in the world and owe $22 trillion in debt? And finally, Jason, I think the United States just needs to stop picking on me. I do have feelings, you know. Well, that's all the time I've got. Thanks for having me on your show, Jason. Hashtag winning. Hashtag nailed it. Hashtag Asian persuasion.